This week on Football Daily, we're looking at 10 players who've climbed the pyramid from non-league to Premier League. We first made this video as an 11 way back in the simpler times of 2017, so let's see who has made our updated list. 10. Nick Pope. Back in 2008, Bury Town's manager Jarrod Wilkins predicted that a 16-year-old Nick Pope was destined for the very top. That seemed unlikely considering the keeper had just been dropped by Ipswich and Bury were in non-league. But fast forward over a decade and Wilkins' prophecy has more than taken shape. Pope would still have to learn the hard way, playing with various non-league outfits including Harrow Borough and Cambridge United. But by 2015 he was earning game time in the Championship with Charlton Athletic. He impressed enough for Burnley to take him into the Premier League 2 years later, where an injury to Tom Heaton against Crystal Palace would change his life forever. Pope was thrust into top-flight action and never looked back, keeping 11 clean sheets and holding down a mammoth 78% save rate to rip the number 1 shirt from Heaton across the rest of 2017-18. Today, the 29-year-old has appeared almost 150 times for the Clarets and made 7 appearances for the Three Lions. And with a save rate that continues to peak over 70%, if Burnley fall to relegation, Pope will surely not be following them. 9. Jarrod Bowen. Joining Michail Antonio on the non-league to West Ham train is Jarrod Bowen. The Englishman has been in exceptional form this season, scoring 8 and assisting 8 in the top flight and posting 2 goal involvements in the Europa League to keep the Hammers on course for a major European final. There have been talks of an England call-up in the air too, along with transfer gossip linking him to none other than Liverpool. Regardless of whether Bowen gets a dream Anfield move, it's been a stunning ascension for the forward considering he started out at Hereford United. He appeared 8 times in the Conference Premier for the Bulls, now known as the National League, before joining Hull City following the dissolution of the club. The Tigers were actually a Premier League outfit at the time, though unsurprisingly Bowen didn't make the immediate leap into the matchday squad. However, by 2017 he was starting to make an impact, and by 2020 he was the main attraction at Hull, scoring 52 times across 3 seasons in the Championship. West Ham would buy him for an initial £18 million, prompting the next chapter in the 25-year-old's rise to the top. 8. Matthew Lowon. The early career of Burnley's Matthew Lowon will take many of you by surprise. Born in 1989, just 11 miles south of Sheffield, it wasn't long before the right-back was plugged into the Yorkshire football system. He first joined Leeds only to sign with Sheffield United as a 15-year-old, where he quickly progressed through their youth ranks. But before any debut with the Blades, in 2008 Lowon was sent on loan to Sheffield FC in the Northern Premier League to cut his teeth. A year later, his journey really took a turn when he joined Sheffield United's sister club Ferencváros in Budapest, going on to appear in Hungary's top 3 divisions across the next 18 months. Lowon clearly learned from his unique experience, as by 2010 he finally got a break in the Championship at Bramall Lane. The Premier League came next with Aston Villa before joining Burnley, where he remains today. The 32-year-old has been a solid and loyal servant to the Clarets ever since, playing nearly 200 times and scoring on 3 occasions. He might not be the most spectacular player going, but after putting himself out there in his youth, he deserves plenty of respect. 7. Dan Burn. In January, Dan Burn made history as one of Newcastle United's first signings in the Saudi ownership era. Snapped up for a hefty £13.5 million from Brighton, the English centre-half completed a remarkable return to his hometown club almost 2 decades after they had released him as an 11-year-old. Following his rejection by the Magpies, Burn represented Blythe Spartans and then Darlington, who handed him his first professional deal. In the 2010-11 season, he appeared 10 times in the conference, an experience he would later credit with making him the player he is today, thanks to the physical learning curve it provided. A nomadic career would then take him to the likes of Fulham, Birmingham City and Wigan, before ending up at Brighton in 2018. Under Graham Potter, Burn became an unlikely wingback, a surprise given his 6'7" frame, but at Newcastle the 29-year-old has been firmly installed back at centre-half, and he hasn't disappointed. So far he's completing 2.6 blocks, 3 tackles and interceptions, plus a mammoth 7.9 clearances per 90, helping the Toon fight out of the bottom 3. Any pessimism around his transfer has subsided, and there were even faint calls for an England shout in recent months. 6. Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins is blessed with a career that has only been going in one direction. In 2019-20, he scored 26 times for Brentford in the Championship to earn a £28 million move to Aston Villa, where he promptly netted 14 in his first Premier League campaign. This earned him a spot in the England squad, which he grabbed with both hands, scoring with his opening shot on his debut against San Marino. It was a proud moment, not just for the Watkins family and his boyhood side Exeter City, but for Western-super-Mare, the Conference South outfit that handed the young forward his first taste of senior football. Watkins spent half a season on loan with the Seagulls from Exeter back in 2014, scoring 10 in 25 appearances. 6 months after returning to St James Park, the teenager finally broke into Exeter's starting 11, and by the end of 2017 he was a veteran with 21 goals in 68 League Two appearances. He has since described his Western-super-Mare experience as the best thing he ever did, showing just how important non-league can be to creating the stars of today. 5. Max Kilman. When the recent England squad was announced, there was a fair bit of disappointment at Max Kilman's absence. The centre-half has been exceptional for Wolves, starting 29 times and helping José Sarr keep 11 clean sheets this season. Kilman has been tactically astute, tackling 62.5% of dribblers faced and completing an additional 4 blocks and interceptions per 90 on the way. But it's not just his positional sense that is winning praise, but his ball skills too. Kilman is completing a solid 86% of his passes along with 75% of his dribbles, the latter the 9th best return in the division. Considering he's attempting around 3.8 progressive carries per match, these are very impressive numbers. To top it off, Kilman has never appeared in the Football League. In 2018, he bypassed Leagues 2, 1 and the Championship to sign straight for Wolves from Maidenhead United, where he'd been playing in the National League. Before that, he was competing even lower, on loan at Marlow Town in the 7th tier of English football. Those days are long gone for the 24-year-old, and his future only lies at the very top. 4. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Not many players on our list owe quite as much to their non-league experience as Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The Everton star only stayed for 2 months with Stalybridge Celtic in the Conference North back in 2014-15, but it was a spell that would change his career forever. Prior to joining the Cheshire Minnows, DCL was a box-to-box midfielder in the Sheffield United Academy. At Stalybridge, he debuted as a centre-forward, scoring twice on his first appearance against Hyde United before scoring against the same opposition again a week later. By the time he returned to Bramall Lane, he'd netted 6 in 5 for the Celts. A loan to Northampton Town in 2015 came next, and the born-again forward continued to deliver with 8 goals in 26 League Two appearances. Everton were watching, handing Sheffield United £1.5 million to bring the teenager to Goodison. Calvert-Lewin has only got better since. Prolific through the youth levels for England and an under-20s World Cup winner, to date he's been capped 11 times at senior level for the Three Lions. That's partly thanks to a fruitful couple of seasons in the Premier League that have delivered 32 goals in his last 79 appearances. Calvert-Lewin is one of England's best leading men, and we have Stalybridge Celts to thank for it. 3. Tyrone Mings. Very few England internationals have endured a journey to the top quite like Tyrone Mings. As a 16-year-old, he was dropped by Southampton after their youth budget was slashed, sending him to non-league Yate Town in Gloucestershire, where he considered quitting the sport altogether. In 2012, he was playing for Chippenham Town in the Southern League Premier Division, juggling football with jobs as a barman and a mortgage advisor. His luck would change when Ipswich bought him for a paltry £10,000 in the summer of 2012, a figure they turned into £8 million when they sold him to Bournemouth 3 years later. Injuries limited Mings to just 23 appearances for the Cherries over the next 36 months, yet Aston Villa still paid £25 million for him following a promising loan spell in 2019. At Villa Park, the 6'5" defender has become an immovable force, ranking among the top 10 clearance makers in the entire Premier League for 3 seasons straight and averaging a quality 67% aerial win rate. This has earned him 16 caps for England so far and a taste of tournament football. Clearly trusted by Gareth Southgate, don't expect to see him drop out of the three-line setup anytime soon. 2. Jordan Pickford. Arguably the most successful player on our list, Jordan Pickford has risen from loan spells with Darlington and Alfreton Town in the Conference Premier to the dazzling heights of international football. The 28-year-old's time in the lower leagues came a decade ago when he left Sunderland in search of first-team football. It would then take 4 more loan spells before he earned his shot at the Stadium of Light, climbing up the divisions with the likes of Burton Albion, Bradford City and Preston. 1 full season in the Premier League in Sunderland, however, was all it took for Everton to splash out £30 million to make him the 3rd most expensive keeper of all time. Pickford's career at Goodison Park has shone in bursts. In 2017-18, he was named Everton's Player of the Year, but to date he's only kept 47 clean sheets from 170 appearances in the league. His best work has come for his country. It was Pickford who starred as England defeated Colombia on penalties at the 2018 World Cup, while last summer he was excellent again as the Three Lions roared agonisingly close to victory at the Euros. After 42 appearances, he's the 8th most capped keeper for England and a significant part of their revival under Southgate. 1. Ethan Pinnock. Perhaps no player in our squad deserves his place more than Brentford's Ethan Pinnock. The definition of non-league to Premier League, the centre-half spent the first 7 years of his career outside the professional divisions after being rejected by Millwall in his youth. 6 of those were with Dulwich Hamlet in the Isthmian League structure, where across 195 appearances he became a fan favourite and was twice named Players' Player of the Year. A successful year in the National League with Forest Green Rovers was followed by a £500,000 transfer to Barnsley, where Pinnock shone once more. In 2018-19 he missed just 2 matches in League One to be named in the division's Team of the Year, as the Tykes soared to promotion, earning yet another move, this time to Brentford. Pinnock has hardly missed a game since. In 2020-21 he was named in the Championship Team of the Year after helping the Bees to an historic promotion, and he's currently dominating the Premier League airspace with a monstrous 5.3 aerial duel wins and 6.3 clearances per 90, the most in the division. He's even turned out for Jamaica, capping off his truly remarkable rise. So those are 10 players we think deserve credit for their incredible rise from non-league to Premier League football, but who else should we have included? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, drop us a like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and you'll never miss an upload. We'll see you next time.